Pony Sports on VAC TV.
We welcome you inside the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. It's Section 4AA quarterfinal action tonight between the Stillwater Ponies and the Woodbury Royals. Good evening, everybody. I'm Patrick Lilia along with Pete Winslow. Pete, give us the keys to the game tonight. These are two teams. They played twice in the regular season. Stillwater won both games, but Woodbury, to give you an idea of the depth of this section, they won 16 regular season games, but they're the 6th seed. So tell us how you think what we should be looking for tonight.
Well, you know what's harder than beating a team once is beating them twice, let alone 3 times. So Stillwater and Woodbury know each other very well, which will make this a very interesting matchup. Obviously, Stillwater getting the best of those games early on, but we throw all that regular season stuff out the window tonight, as that doesn't matter. Unfortunately, Stillwater is coming in off a tough 3-game losing streak, so Coach Cashman is hoping that the ship will right itself tonight. And, one of my biggest X factor is them getting back to what they know best. Their speed, their passing, their excellent zone entry, and getting Josie St. Martin going. She's got no points in the last 3 games, which is so uncharacteristic for her as we get started here tonight.
As the puck is played into the offensive zone by Maya Kruger. Kruger trying to drive it in deep as Bella Mishikoff sort of forced her up into the corner. Thrown in the direction of the starting goaltender, Alyssa Polanski for the Royals. Polanski had a good regular season, 11 wins, 2.27 goals against average. For the Ponies at their end, that stalwart Lily Timmons, 15-7, a 2.21 goals against average. So very similar numbers for those two in the goals against department on the season. A drive, they score! No, they did not, I'm sorry, as the Royals blocked the shot in front. Here come the Royals into the offensive zone for the first time as it's forced ahead down into the near side corner. Trying to center it was Hannah Gronke as it'll end up onto the far side boards. The Ponies work it out through the neutral zone on the left wing as Kruger then steered off the puck as the Royals will try to float it back in. Ligday knocks it down. It's loose in the slot. Puck will work up toward the far side boards as Avery Bronshausen controls for the Ponies. Bronshausen behind the net. She's poked at from behind and the puck taken away as comes into the possession of Brooke Nelson. Nelson will try to get it out into the neutral zone as the puck battled for on the near side boards. Then sent in deep to the Woodbury zone as it'll ring the net into the far side corner. Played around the net as it'll come back now onto the far side point. Couple of turnovers early on in the game that Woodbury could have had a chance to establish themselves in the offensive zone, but good heads-up play by Stillwater to not let them make anything of it.
Yeah, the puck bouncing up on some of the defenders here. Obviously, fresh ice, being as fresh as it is, having an effect there. But it'll be interesting to see Stillwater now in the offensive zone. In the last few games, they haven't been able to create their shape and cycle it around like they normally do. So we'll see if they've made any tweaks or adjustments moving forward.
Royals work it through neutral. They'll drop it in deep. It comes into the corner as Lang overskated it a little bit, but able to get it ahead for Bronshausen on the right wing. Bronshausen stood up in the neutral zone as she was jostling for position with Haley Gronke. Puck sent off toward the far side in front of the Woodbury bench as it'll be swept into the far side corner now in the Woodbury zone. Royals play it behind their own net as Bella Mishikoff works it around toward the near side. Puck battled for at the blue line, then comes into the neutral zone where it'll be backhanded in deep to the Woodbury zone once again. The Stillwater has had the better of the zone play so far. They have the one shot on goal already, 14:45 to go in the opening period. No score. This is the 6-3 game. The Ponies the 3 seed, Woodbury the 6. As a puck will come deep into the offensive zone with Liz Mishikoff. Mishikoff poked off the puck from behind by Josie Lang. A good play by Lang behind the net. It comes over onto the near side, is getting shoved up hard into the boards was Haley Olsen, and that'll be a penalty on the Royals.
Yeah, good opportunity here for Stillwater going up on the power play early in the game. Like you said, Patrick, they've had a couple shots. Well, they had one shot, but a couple good opportunities. And this power play unit is deadly for Coach Cashman, so we'll see what they draw up here.
Ponies coming in 25.5 in the regular season on the power play. Face-off will be to the left of Polanski as the Ponies able to control the face-off, send it wide off the glass. Now on the far side boards where the battle continues there, and the Royals able to clear it all the way down. Back to pick it up deep in her own end for the Ponies is Addison Finn. As Finn nearly turned it over. As Finn back behind the net with it. Staring at her across the net is Abby Lenzik of the Royals, and on the left wing, the Ponies able to work through neutrals. It'll be dropped down toward the near side into the offensive zone. Kruger carries around the net. Kruger still with the puck, works it back to the high slot, and Finn will drop it down toward the near side. Good puck movement in the offensive zone for the Ponies. It's loose in front and swept out into the neutral zone.
Wow, a lot of traffic up front. And don't know how that one stayed out, but there are a lot of bodies in the crease there.
Absolutely, as the puck sent up and out of play. So the Ponies have looked like they've had the better jump in the early going. We're about 3.5 minutes into the game. 1:06 to go in the power play for the Ponies.
You know, Patrick, keep looking for those long shots too. That's one of the bread and butter things for their power play unit, is getting St. Martin or Josie Lang to fire those shots from the blue line, especially on the power play.
Kruger taps it through neutral ice. The Royals able to turn it back the other way as Finn slows it down just outside of her blue line. Carried in now on the left wing once again by the Ponies. Long shot on goal. Rebound loose and just swept wide as the net got knocked off behind Polanski. And a face-off will come, we believe, in the Woodbury zone. So this is the second day of 4AA action. Hill, Murray, and East Ridge are through, winning last night, defeating North Tartan and Rosemount Matamidi respectively. So the left half of the bracket is set for Tuesday night at Aldrich Arena, where the semifinals will be. A long drive again was knocked down in front. So that drive was initiated by Lang, and you were talking about that, Pete, that they got that open look from Lang from just inside the blue line. Ponies able to hold it deep in the zone. Now as they work it back for Lang. Lang with a shot again, blocked in traffic as it comes around toward the near side. Working back to the blue line. Finn goes back to Lang. Lang from just outside the circle, and that one goes just wide. Then a very eventful power play for the Ponies, and they're whacking away at it. I believe it was able to be held out of the net by, well, that time, did they score? No, they're just changing players.
I don't think so, yeah. But good shots there by the Ponies, setting up a lot of things. And, you know, one of the big things it's going to be is, does Pulaski give up those second and third opportunities? Obviously, the Stillwater plan is to pepper the goalie, and they really try to capitalize on those second and third opportunities.
The Royals able to clear it all the way down. Ripped one off the post from just inside the blue line as the power play comes to an end for the Ponies. As they'll work it over on the right wing for Olivia Desjardins. Desjardins gains the offensive zone. Getting tied up was Bronshausen, and then diving on the loose puck is Polanski once again. 12:10 to go in the opening period. No score. 7 shots on goal already for the Ponies. Very active power play, but just unable to get one past Polanski. Face-off working its way into the slot. Ponies will work it onto the far side boards. Long drive from the point was blocked. That shot was taken by Alexa March as it'll work into the corner. Said the two teams met twice this regular season. Stillwater won both as it comes in front of the net again and has to be covered up by Polanski, including just a couple of weeks ago where Stillwater won at the Health East Sports Center over the Royals. As you said, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, so what kind of adjustments do you think the Royals are looking to make tonight to make the third time the charm?
Well, you know that they know exactly who to key in on with the high-powered offense that Stillwater has in St. Martin and Lang and Nelson. But they got to be careful giving up those rebounds, like I said. I mean, that's where they do a lot of their damage, as well as trying to capitalize potentially on the transition games. The past few games, Stillwater has been caught flat-footed a little bit in the neutral zone, and they've given up a couple goals, so we'll see if that's something that Woodbury tries to capitalize on.
The Royals able to keep forcing the play down in deep as battling for it right in front of us is Liney Netz. Netz, the team leader in goals for the Royals on the season with 15. Royals have a really good top line as it comes off the side of the net here. It's been kind of the secondary scoring that I think maybe the Royals are hoping to get a little more out of as they head into sectional play, as this one taken away is penalty coming against Stillwater. A tripping call will put the Royals on their first power play. That'll come with 10:52 to go in the opening period, no score.
You know, it'll be interesting to see what Woodbury wants to do. They haven't really gotten a chance so far to set up their offensive scheme, and they've got a great opportunity here. But for Stillwater, I mean, don't count them out when they're down a player. They love the transition game, the extra space on the ice. They utilize their speed and their puck entry to capitalize on a lot of shorthanded goals we've seen so far this season.
Woodbury at the good power play as well as it comes free in front, and the save was made at point blank by Timmons, and the Ponies able to clear. About to say the Royals had a good power play on the season too, 22.7. The Ponies a great penalty kill at 88.2. The Royals will carry it right back through neutral with, and having it poked off her stick from behind was Hannah Gronke, and the puck cleared out back into the neutral zone, but only to the red line. But then Gronke comes in offside. .10:20 to go in the first period. No score, 1:28 to go in the power play for Woodbury. The Ponies had a power play chance. Lots of good looks, but unable to convert against the goaltender Polanski as the puck sent in deep to the Stillwater zone off the faceoff. The Ponies will be able to get it out into the neutral zone. It's going to be taken by Maya Kruger. Kruger shorthanded on the right wing. Kruger tried to go in the slot, and the play got tied up as she got it into the slot for Brooke Nelson. Woodbury now controls from behind their own net. They'll go off toward the far side of your screen. Woodbury will set up to the blue line, drop in, and get their second unit on the ice with a minute to go in this power play as Lang behind the net with the puck. Lang forced back behind the net by Eiley Hashka as the puck will then be sent into the neutral zone all the way down deep into the Woodbury end once again. Down to 44 seconds to go in the power play at the Royals set up behind their own net with it. A long pass carried across the red line by the Royals into the offensive zone. Here's Natalie Meter. Meter spins down onto the near side, tried to drop it back to the point. There was nobody there, and it goes all the way back down into the Woodbury zone. Royals quickly reset as it'll be carried in now by Netz. Netz got the puck taken away in the slot. Now St. Martin with it. St. Martin over on the left wing. St. Martin into the offensive zone with the puck. St. Martin centers, they score! Avery Bronshausen with the shorthanded goal. And you were talking about those shorthanded opportunities, Pete, and there's one for the Ponies, and they cashed in.
See, they almost invite the offenses to come into their zone, and you saw St. Martin there, did a good job of picking her pocket, taking it all the way up, using her speed, and Bronshausen was left all alone in the slot there against Pulaski. And that's exactly what you want, and that's what Cashman draws up is those transitional plays. And, you know, Stillwater can be very hard to stop when they're buzzing, even down a player. I mean, like I said, 11 seconds left in this penalty kill, and it hasn't really felt like that for Stillwater.
No, for sure. That's the fourth goal of the year for Avery Bronshausen. 3 in the regular season, now 1 here in sectional play. Josie St. Martin started that with the takeaway in the defensive zone. Tough to hear the assists from down here, but puck will come behind the net as Finn trying to get the play tied up. It will be carried back the other way by St. Martin. She has a player end up on her back, and then St. Martin ends up on the ice herself. With the puck sent back deep into the Stillwater zone. It'll be carried around the net by Lang. Lang spins. Lang, long pass toward the blue line as the Ponies will then play it back behind their net off toward the far side. Slowed down on the far side by Nelson as Nelson trying to get it for Bronshausen, who has stood up just inside the blue line as she met with Paige Fashing as the puck then sent back in deep to the Stillwater zone onto the far side boards. Royals try to get it behind the net. It's getting tied up And then playing it off glass was Bronshausen, who just scored the goal a moment ago as she cycles it back into the corner. With nearly a turnover, spinning and putting it through the blue was Erica Kepke of the Royals. The zone play has been a little bit of an issue for the Ponies in the early going. The Royals have figured out a way to get some chances off these turnovers, Pete.
Yeah, but Stillwater defenders are doing a great job of getting their sticks in the lanes, lifting sticks, and just being disruptors. Even if they've given up the position, they're still making it hard on Woodbury, not giving them clean looks.
Absolutely, as it'll work over onto the near side and be tapped through into the neutral zone by Desjardins. Comes down toward the near side as it'll be sent in deep by Hunter Reardon into the near side corner. Royals behind their own net will try to cycle it up in the direction of Meter as Meter trying to hold the zone as it'll be working back down toward the near side. So the Ponies leading 1-0, the fourth of the year for Avery Bronshausen. Came on a beautiful feed from St. Martin after a takeaway shorthanded into the offensive zone. The Royals with a shot and a save by the goaltender Timmons as it'll be controlled and thrown into the neutral zone by Olsen. Royals control as they'll bank it off the near side boards. They'll send it in deep to the Pony zone for icing. 6:26 to go in the opening period. 1-0 Stillwater leading Woodbury in this 4AA quarterfinal.
You know, Patrick, if the Stillwater defense can limit Woodbury shots to shots like that, Timmons will take that all day.
Faceoff will come deep in the Woodbury zone. It'll be to the left of Timmons, the left of Polanski, I apologize. The Royals able to win the face-off as they'll work it into the neutral zone, and then having the puck poked off her stick from behind was Haley Gronke as it's sent back the other way by the Ponies into the offensive zone. A chance in front, they score! The Ponies widen the lead to 2-0.
Yeah, I believe that was St. Martin. You give her that space, you give her an inch, she'll take a mile, and just drove her way to the front of the net. Good forehand backhand play and absolutely shelved it. Stillwater up 2-0 now.
Josie St. Martin with her 21st goal of the year, showing why she's one of the best players in Minnesota hockey right now as it's carried up the right wing by Addison Finn. Finn will get it deep into the Woodbury zone as it'll come onto the end boards. Puck will work its way back down around the net toward the near side. So Bronshausen and St. Martin have scored for the Ponies in this opening period. As another turnover, the Royals will throw it in deep to the Ponies zone. It'll come down in front of us where it's played up the near side boards by Finn out into the neutral zone. Ponies able to control as they'll work their way into the high slot as St. Martin then knocked off the puck. Royals will work it back up ice the other way where it's taken right back in the neutral zone by Desjardins into the offensive zone. A shot was knocked down as it ends up on the far side boards. The Royals able to work it back up the other way into the offensive zone. A long drive knocked down. Taking that long shot was Liney Netz. Ponies regain control as they'll work it up the near side with Bronshausen, then she's knocked off the puck. And we are going to get a slashing call coming up. That'll put the Ponies on their second power play. And they were very active on that first one, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Woodbury, that's kind of tough taking a penalty now. It seems like they're building a little bit of momentum, getting more shots on net. And now you go to the box and give Stillwater another opportunity. And this is the Stillwater team we all know and come to expect with Coach Cashman is, they're taking a lot of shots. They're getting a lot of high probability or high, dangerous chances. And you can't keep giving a team like this penalties.
Liney Netz will take the penalty as extra attacker is going to come on with just 1.8 seconds left to go in the period. So the Ponies are going to have the extra skater for this face-off coming in the offensive zone. Some kind of conversation taking place as now coming back into the game will be Timmons. Not really sure what all that was about, if the Ponies decided it wasn't worth the risk, or if the official said, no, you can't do that, but I'm pretty sure that's a legal play. Now the Stillwater players huddle up. Well, there might be an issue with the clock, because it seemed like we got down to 1.8 really quickly.
I was going to say, I looked up the clock and I couldn't believe we were almost, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of stoppages in this period, but.
Yeah, I think the issue is, I think there's a clock problem. Of course, we're kind of well out of position to know exactly what's going on. We'll just recap for you what's happened in this first period as the Ponies are going to head on their second power play. Avery Bronshausen, her 4th goal of the year. And then Josie St. Martin, her 21st. The Bronshausen goal came shorthanded. And Pete, you had talked about heading into that Woodbury power play about the Stillwater players are good in the shorthanded situations, and they sure enough took advantage of it.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, they sort of, the defenders kind of invite the other team to come in, feel like they're going to set up, and then, you know, they're opportunistic. They poke the puck away. You see it with Nelson and Kruger, very above the circles, and that's what causes the transition. And like I said, it's worked for Coach Cashman so far, and that's tough when you're on the power play, but you know, you want to get your offense going, but you're also worried about potentially turning the puck over. I mean, that's very hard for a team mentally, you know.
So we're still working on whatever the issue is. Since I'm just going to take a guess, and this isn't to pick on anybody, of course, what I think probably happened was when they went to enter number 18 on the penalty box, they accidentally entered 1.8 on the clock. So I think we're kind of trying to figure out, I think we have it now, 5:07 to go in this opening period. We're finally ready to resume play. Ponies on their second power play. They're 0 for 1, but they had a lot of really good looks on the first one, as we've talked about several times already. Lining nets in the penalty box for the slash for Woodbury. Ponies will work it from the neutral zone. On the left wing is Nelson. Nelson works their way into the corner. Woodbury will then play it from behind their own net, and they'll throw it all the way down for an early clear. Minute 31 to go in the power play for the Ponies. 4:34 to go in the period as the puck will work up into the far side corner. Works down toward the near side as it'll be stretched ahead now by Kruger. Carried by St. Martin through neutral. St. Martin able to gain the offensive zone as she'll spin back. And offside, she threw it back in. 4:19 to go in the opening period. 1:13 in the power play for the Ponies. St. Martin in the face-off circle. She's able to win it. It's controlled by Lang. Lang will work it back toward the near side. It'll be sent deep into the Woodbury zone. It'll ring the net up into the far side corner. Back to the point, able to be held in. Now St. Martin operates. St. Martin with a shot. Knocked down in front as it works up into the far side corner. Another drive saved and held onto by the goaltender Polanski. But again, we see this very active power play getting to work here in the second half of the power play as the second units will come on.
You've seen St. Martin just let loose from pretty much anywhere on the ice. She's got the green light, and I think that's one of the, you know, things that Coach Cashman told her to, you know, to get her rolling again. Like I said, she's been pointless in the last 3 losses for Stillwater. So, you know, the more shots she gets, the more she gets into the game.
Ponies unable to hold the zone as it'll come all the way down into the Stillwater end. Timmons out of her net to slow it down. Said it was a tough stretch at the end of the season. They played a lot of really tough teams. Andover most recently. That's going to be a tough matchup for anybody is taking on Andover. Well, the Ponies looking to rebound tonight, and so far they're on top 2-0 as the Royals able to take it away, clear it through the neutral zone. As working her way in is Lenzik. Lenzik was forced off the play, is nicely taken away now by Ligday. We were talking about earlier, it was a good play to cut off Lenzik and not let her have a chance.
Yeah, Lenzik made a great move there. Just Ligday got the better positioning at the end of that move, though.
Royals come back to full strength. Puck will be battled for on the end boards as the Ponies able to work it back to the blue line as they'll cycle it down into the near side corner. 2:50 to go in this opening period. 2-0, the Ponies with the lead as they're able to hold the zone. They'll cycle it through the corner. It'll come back around toward the near side. Royals work it back to the blue line. It'll be carried in by Nets. Nets trying to drive the slot. A nice diving play to poke it out of there by Lang. Liney Nets, we talked about the leading goal scorer for the Woodbury Royals on the season. Nets going after it again up into the corner. He's able to work it out front as it's backhanded high and wide by Meter. Lang and Meter battling for it as Meter nearly stuffed it under. There's a shot. That'll go off of the goaltender Timmons. Woodbury having their best chances in the offensive zone we've seen so far, Pete.
Yeah, a couple great chances, and good job, though, by Josie Lang on that diving play to not draw a penalty and trip the player. She does exactly what she's doing on defense to help out Timmons.
St. Martin knocked off the puck as it's sent back high into the neutral zone, then to the red line where the Royals will be trying to break out. Still loose in the neutral zone as the Royals have to touch up. Really good forecheck by the Ponies, just not letting, oh, we'll let you get the blue line, but you're not getting any further than that. If they're able to outlet it for Kruger, Kruger will work it over onto the right wing into the offensive zone for Bronshausen. Rebound given up, backhand. The goaltender Polanski is down. It comes back around toward the front of the net. There's a shot from Nelson, and that goes loudly off the boards and then eventually covered up by Polanski. But that was a wild adventure in the offensive zone for the Ponies again.
Wow, great chances there. Great save by Polanski to grab that one. But like I said, I mean, it's all on those second and third chance opportunities. Stillwater really just waiting to bang one home when it's just right out in front. And Polanski's going to want to try to limit the number of rebounds that get kicked out. But Stillwater is all over the place here in the offensive zone.
Face-off eventually controlled by Stillwater as they'll work it back for Finn. Finn's tried to send it into the slot. Now a minute to go in this opening period as it'll be floated back through the neutral zone where St. Martin controls. St. Martin is sandwiched between a pair of Royals as the puck will bounce through the neutral zone, then right back into the neutral zone as it'll be controlled now by Finn high in her own zone. We've had a great first period from the Ponies so far. What adjustments do you think they're going to look for to make in the second period? Obviously, we still have 30 seconds to go in this first period, but certainly the Ponies looking good so far, and then a shot blocked at the other end.
Yeah, I think the offense is humming right now. I think that when they started, they were a little bit careless, a little bit sloppy with their passes, but they've really cleaned that up. But Woodbury is really firing back now, and but the defense has done a good job to clamp down and not give them any, high-octane chances, even though they've gotten, those 5 shots.
Well, the first period is over for real this time, so we're going to step aside here on VAC, and we'll come back with your first period halftime analysis just a few minutes away. You're watching girls 4AA quarterfinal action. The Ponies 2, the Royals nothing after 1 period. We'll be right back.
People see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. It doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that. see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. Doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that.
Thank you for coming to our Stillwater Papa John's. Can't wait to see you again. Bye!
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Pony Sports. On VAC TV.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hi, welcome to Papa John's. How can I help you today?
You know, people see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. It doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that.
Thank you for coming to our Stillwater Papa John's. Can't wait to see you again. Bye!
We welcome you back inside the St. Croix Valley Rec Center along with Pete Winslow. I'm Patrick Lilia. It's the 4AA quarterfinal game between the Stillwater Ponies and the Woodbury Royals. Ponies largely controlled that first period. They lead 2-0, 14-5 shots on goal. A shorthanded goal for Bronshausen, her fourth. Then Josie St. Martin, her 21st to pace the Ponies in that opening period, Pete.
Yeah, and this is the Stillwater Pony squad that we know and love playing their game. You know, they're getting into the zone. They're pinching on the sides and keeping the puck in, making it very hard for Woodbury to get out of their own zone, let alone expend all their energy in the defensive zone, especially when they get their top line out there like Nets and players like that. You know, they want them creating scoring chances, but if they've got to play in their own end, I mean, it's kind of a wasted opportunity for Woodbury. But like I said, that's Coach Cashman's strategy, and it's working to a T right now. You know, one of the things I think Stillwater might want to clean up in this period is, like, we've seen the defense has done really well clamping down, you know, getting that body position, but a few of those pucks have trickled in into some dangerous zones pretty close to Timmins, so I got to think they're going to want to clean that up and not let, you know, those things trickle by, because you just never know with those types of things, especially when Woodbury has a high-powered offense. And they only need, you know, a couple shots to get back into this thing.
Absolutely. In that first period, as you said, I noticed that sort of thing. The Woodbury struggled to gain the offensive zone, but those turnovers were kind of what kept them going in that first period. 5 shots on goal, 5 saves for Timmins, 12 saves on 14 shots for the goaltender Polanski. So I think here in the second period, if you're Woodbury, certainly you're going to have to figure out how to keep the puck in the Stillwater zone more. I think they started to do a better job of that as that first period sort of wound down into the final few minutes. But they'll have to figure out how to sustain it a little bit, because as long as the Ponies clean up those turnovers, that's how the Royals got most of their chances in that first period. So if they're not forcing turnovers, they're not going to have a chance to get back into the game the way that first period went.
Well, you know, the big thing, too, with Stillwater's defenders is that even if they give up a turnover or they mishandle a puck, they're so skilled that they can recover, and that's really what's helped them out so far in this game. But it's not something you necessarily want to rely on. So, like I said, tighten up the defense, and then you know, just keep doing what you're doing on offense, because things seem to be working, especially using your speed up the boards.
Absolutely. Well, win or lose, you can always get a great deal with Papa John's of Stillwater. If you're going to celebrate tonight after the Ponies game, get some for the big game tomorrow, too, if you're so inclined. That's Papa John's of Stillwater. What do you think the Ponies are going to come out and be looking to do here in the second period, Pete?
I really think that they're going to be throwing pucks at the net again, and you want to try to capitalize and get bodies up front for those second and third chances. I mean, we saw a lot of them, honestly, and those second and third chances were just maybe going wide, or Pulaski finally jumped on a couple of them. But really, I think that's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple goals go in that way, where you know, those shots from the point by St. Martin and Lang, I mean, those are those snipers at the top are just looking for, you know, rebounds coming out. And when you put big bodies like Brooke Nelson and Kruger up front, I mean, it's ripe for the picking.
Absolutely. So I think, so going back to your keys to the game, what do you think the Royals are going to be looking to do here in the second period to try to turn the tide?
Well, I think they want to be careful on letting Stillwater fly up the boards, fly up the sides. Like I said, that's how they dangerously enter the zone and set up their offense. And then, you know, offensively, like I said, I mean, they've made some great moves to get into the zone, to get shots that are in the slot or in the, you know, by the dots, but they just haven't been able to really connect and, you know, execute that last little bit of the puzzle, so to speak. So, you know, I think they're going to want to, like I said, they're going to want to get some more shots on net. And like I said, it's right there for them, but they just got to find that finishing part.
The Ponies retake the ice. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Gentry Academy and White Bear Lake. And we saw the Bears earlier in the season. They're really sound defensively and in goal. I don't think that's going to be an easy game tonight for Gentry, even though they are the 2 seed. They're a favorite to come out of Section 4 along with the Ponies and the Pioneers. So I don't think that's necessarily going to be an easy game. I think we talked about the depth of this section, that the Royals won 16 games, but they're the 6th seed. There is a lot of talent in this section.
Well, like you said, I mean, most teams dream about getting 16 wins, and usually that's that's enough to you know, be a higher seed in a division. And like you said, it just goes to show you how much talent there is. I mean, just so much depth on every team you look at, but that's what makes it fun. I mean, these matchups, like I said, high-powered offenses, great goaltending, and like I said, that's what makes for great. I mean, this is the quarterfinals, so you can only imagine what's in store when we get to the you know, final 2 teams.
Absolutely. So the semifinals, those will be Tuesday night at Aldrich Arena, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Hill Murray and Eastridge won last night. They're through. So those 2 teams will get together Tuesday night. That game is set. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Gentry Academy and White Bear Lake, as the teams have retaken the ice. At least from my perspective, Pete, I think it's important. I think both teams want to come out and just kind of punch the other in the mouth a little bit in this period, because Stillwater's got the lead. Kind of want to, you know, deflate the Royals even a little bit further, but I think the Royals want to come out and show that they're not just going to go away either.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think winning this face-off is key, because, like I said, Stillwater can get from points A to B very quickly, and so when you set up early chances and dangerous chances, that really kind of sets the tone, and I think Stillwater does a great job as far as, you know, keeping the pace fast.
Woodbury is able to control the opening face-off as they'll send it in deep to the Stillwater zone as it quickly comes in on Timmons, and she'll cover. Well, a face-off coming in the Stillwater zone only 9 seconds into the second period, and as you hinted at, Pete, that was an important face-off win for the Royals. Now they'll have an offensive zone draw. Face-off will be to the left of Timmons, as Kruger will again be in the face-off circle. The Royals are trying to figure out what personnel they want where, as Liney Nets will look like she was going to step into the face-off circle, and now the players, I think, I'm going to wonder, I think maybe an issue with the ice. I think the players are kind of poking at the ice a little bit down at that end. And we had the clock delay in the first period. Now it looks like we might have an issue with the ice here early in the second. Well, that'll put us to the test, Pete. I think we already pulled out our conversation topic, so we'll have to dig a little deeper with this potential ice delay.
It's always something.
Well, the players lined up, and then they're kind of skating around a little bit. Now the Stillwater players are huddling around their net.
I think it can be really tough for the players in this sort of awkward downtime, right? You're ready to take the face off. You're ready to, pounce on the puck and get your offense rolling, and or to play defense. So this kind of stuff is what really I think separates the great teams from the elite teams when it comes to what is your mindset now? I mean, they've been taking this, I don't know, couple-minute break, and now you're a little bit colder. So what do you do from here?
Now we are ready to resume play as the play comes down into the near side corner in the Stillwater zone. It'll come behind the net up toward the far side as the Ponies will be able to outlet it on the right wing, but then it's thrown right back in by the Royals as Hannah Gronke smacks it in deep. Ponies will work it up into the corner as it'll be then reversed behind the net back toward the near side as it will reverse once again back through toward the far side. Royals able to keep it in the offensive zone as trying to get it down in deep was Liv Mishikoff, one of the leading scorers on the Royals this year. She had 14, just one off the team lead as it's able to be worked in to the offensive zone by Addison Finn as then Finn tried to center it. It'll be sent all the way down back into the Stillwater zone.
Good look there by Finn to get that up the slot. Unfortunately, no Ponies there to receive that puck, but that would have been a high chance there, you would imagine.
Absolutely, as it's sent back in deep, played behind the net by Liney Nets. Nets will throw it through the neutral zone. This will be icing at the other end. 15:46 to play in the second period. It's 2-0, Stillwater leading it. First period goals from Bronzhausen, shorthanded, and from St. Martin.
You've really seen so far, Patrick, that first face-off for Woodbury leading to that potential goal scoring opportunity is really, kind of giving them a spark. It's been all their offense, for the last few minutes here.
As the face-off rolled in on goal and then had to be covered up by the goaltender Pulaski. Face-off will be to Pulaski's left. Comes into the slot where it's carried up by Natalie Meter for the Royals. Meter trying to put on some speed to work her way around March as Meter has the puck go around the net and come off toward the far side. Ponies tap it right back into the neutral zone onto the near wing as it'll come down into the Woodbury zone. Tapped into the slot towards Bronzhausen. As it's sent down low, it's loose in the slot and able to be cleared out by the Royals out into the neutral zone. It'll be steered back down toward the near side by Isabel McKenzie as she sends it back in deep. Excuse me, that's Ashlyn Hoff, I apologize. Now the puck will be flipped back out the other way for the Royals as Mishikoff will work it through. Mishikoff in the corner tried to center it. There was nobody there, but it kind of took an awkward bounce in front of the net. Royals work it back in as it's played into the corner by Bella Mishikoff, and then Liv Mishikoff winds up for a shot that goes wide in front of the net as it comes into the near side corner. Ponies get it back out into the neutral zone as it'll be sent in deep by Bronzhausen as the Royals, I think, could have caught the Ponies on a line change, but I don't think they saw what was going on behind them. The way that puck kind of awkwardly carried back to the Royals. Perhaps a missed opportunity there for Woodbury is carried right back in on the right wing to the offensive zone by Olsen. Olsen tried to center it. It's loose in front, and at point blank, Olsen slams it off the goaltender Pulaski, but she's able to stand her ground.
And that's what I'm talking about there. I mean, that puck was thrown right into the middle of the ice, or the middle of the crease, and wasn't the first shot, but it was the second and third shot potentially that almost went in.
This puck sent back deep into the Woodbury zone, and Pulaski will just have to cover it up. 13:57 to go in the second period, 2-0 Stillwater. Face-off will be to the left of Pulaski. Still loose in the circle. Now trying to be tapped back by Reardon. It'll be played out into the neutral zone. And back through the other way to pick it up is Nelson. Now backing it up is Finn, back deep in her own end. Finn will cycle it back down toward the near side. Puck sent through the neutral zone by the Ponies. With them getting stood up from behind was Kruger as it is sent deep into the Woodbury zone anyway, as then Kruger trying to get tied up with Fashing in the corner. Fashing works it back toward the blue line. It'll get by Ligday out into the neutral zone. Woodbury's come out here in the second period, I think, with a little bit of purpose, but I think now the Ponies have been punching back, and now a face-off will come deep in the Stillwater zone off the icing.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly interesting. The shots are still only at 6 for Woodbury, but it seems like they should have a lot more with how much pressure they're putting on Stillwater so far in this period.
And I think that goes to what you were saying about how good the Ponies defensively have been. You know, they can miss an assignment, let a puck get by them, but they're good enough that they'll recover and make the play anyway. Puck will work its way behind the Stillwater net, then be pushed back toward the near side. Comes back over now onto the stick side of Timmins. Played through the slot, back into the Woodbury zone. Back to pick it up deep in her own end is Eiley Hashka, as Hashka able to work it down on the near side for Fashing. It'll get by Hashka and be able to be kept deep in the Woodbury zone as it'll be played up in the corner by Hashka. Hashka trying to work it ahead up the far side boards. Gets it for Haley Gronke through neutral. Gronke throws it into the Stillwater zone as it'll work into the corner and be played there first by Abby Wenzik. Wenzik will try to carry it behind the Stillwater net, get stood up there as it'll work onto the near side. As the Ponies will be able to get it out into the neutral zone, it'll be sent deep into the Woodbury zone. That'll be icing. With 12:21 to go on the second period, 2-0 Stillwater.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of zone time for Woodbury, but if you're Stillwater, you haven't been giving up a whole lot of shots or a whole lot of big chances right in front of Timmins. So I got to imagine they'll take that even if Woodbury has kept them in the zone for longer than they did in the first period.
The long drive through traffic was initiated by Kepke, and then the puck sent up into the far side corner. Penalty coming against the Ponies. As a collision up in that far side corner will put Woodbury, it appears, on their second power play. It'll be Finn who takes the penalty, so now you got one of your top defenders in the box for this penalty kill. Puck will work back to the blue line, able to be held in by Mishakov. It'll work into the corner. Mishakov back in the high slot. Mishakov winds up for a blast that might have caught Timmins. Mishakov again on the other side, winds up for a shot that's blocked as the Ponies will gain control. Ring it around the net all the way back around as it'll come down into the Woodbury zone. The race to the puck will be won in the Woodbury zone by Hannah Gronke as Gronke then spins. Gronke with Lang trying to force a turnover in front, and then St. Martin does force a turnover. She tried to go back for Lang. It was intercepted and carried by Liv Mishakov back the other way. Another shorthanded sequence with the Ponies being aggressive, P, and it nearly turned into another great chance.
And that all started with the puck getting dumped down, but Josie Lang, sprinting down the ice to at least cause pressure to with an errant dump out, and that let St. Martin get on the other end of it and just did not have enough on that pass to get it over to Lang, but a great look for Stillwater.
Ponies come back in again shorthanded as it'll be played onto the end boards by Ligday. Ligday on the other side, penalty coming once again. Well, it looks like Woodbury's going to have some 5-on-3 for 46 seconds as Ligday will head into the penalty box. And a golden opportunity for Woodbury to at least establish themselves in the offensive zone for a little bit, if not try to cut into this deficit. And it's going to be very important, I think, for Stillwater to win this face-off and get it clear quickly.
That's a tough one. That was a bang-bang play, and it absolutely sounded louder than maybe it looked. I'm not sure it happened so fast, but nonetheless, Stillwater down 2 skaters right now for just almost a minute here.
They do get that clear, though, that I talked about. As working it up the near side boards are the Royals on the right wing through neutral, carried in by Brooke Netz. Netz will work it in. She was trying to center it, and whiffing on a shot in the slot is Bella Mishakov, and the Ponies able to clear. 20 seconds to go on the 5-on-3, 10:27 to go in the second period as the Royals work it back to the Stillwater blue line where it's intercepted and banked back through neutral. But the Royals will regain control. They'll work it in on the right wing. It's coming into the corner is Bella Mishakov. Mishakov was looking to center it as the Ponies will be able to clear, and that does it for the 5-on-3. Still a minute 12 of 5-on-4. Excellent 3-on-5 penalty kill for the Ponies.
And what amazes me, Patrick, is that even on that 5-on-3,
The shot on goal was taken by Meter. The save was made by Timmons, and she covers up the rebound.
even on that 5-on-3, I mean, Maya Kruger was pressuring when Woodbury was trying to break out as, you know, the third player for Stillwater. And although it only left 2 people back, I mean, she still caused havoc, and it makes Woodbury think a little bit. And that's just the mindset that Cashman has instilled with this Stillwater squad of always thinking about the attack, even when, I mean, you're down 2 players.
I think it shows a lot of trust in your players that you think, you know, you can leave 2 players back there in a, you know, a 3-player penalty kill, you know, and still think that you can make it work to your advantage. It's carried now on the right wing by Hannah Gronke through neutral. Gronke shoved up onto the near side as it comes back into the neutral zone and now controlled by Liv Mishikoff. Mishikoff will drift back high in her own zone and work it down toward the near side. The puck will be sent into the offensive zone for Woodbury as a drive glove snare wide of the net. Initiated by Hannah Gronke. Face-off coming in the Stillwater zone. 9:13 to go in the second period. 19 seconds in the Woodbury power play. Kruger will take the face-off for Stillwater. As the puck works its way into the slot, a backhander goes just wide in front. As fighting her way into the slot was Meter, and Meter had one of the best looks the Royals have had in the game as this puck is cleared all the way down. That'll do it for the Woodbury power play as League Day is set to come back, and the Ponies kill off the 5-on-3. A great penalty kill once again by Coach Cashman's unit.
And that just has to give all the confidence in the world to the team when, you know, I don't care who you are, when you're down a 5-3 power play, I mean, that really puts your team to the test, you know, mentally and physically. And so for them to come out, you know, ahead sort of on that one, I think that's really going to have a boost in morale for the team.
Face off, still loose on the dot. Now Kruger controls as she works back to the blue line, trying to go back to Kruger, who has the puck on the far boards. Back to the blue line, able to be held in initially by the Ponies, and then the Royals able to send it all the way down deep in. That'll be icing. 8:37 to play in the second period, effectively at the midpoint of the game. Said P, that was a huge penalty kill, and Stillwater's got to be feeling pretty good about their defensive play. Maybe a little sloppy in the early going, as you had talked about back in the first period, but you know, that 5-on-3 penalty kill really looked like Woodbury didn't really have much of a chance on that, and that's exactly, I think, how the Ponies played really well on that penalty kill. In the offensive zone, Finn winds up for a blast and a glove snare by Polanski.
You know, I was going to say, I think, you know, this period, obviously Stillwater hasn't had a ton of shots, but I think Coach Cashman's going to be proud of her girls for a different reason than they were in the first period with that offense. I mean, the second period has just been all about their defensive shape and just how they attack and defend, you know, when they're down or in their own zone. So not a lot of scoring opportunities, but still very solid hockey from Stillwater.
Ending up on the ice is League Day at the blue line as the Ponies able to hold. It'll ring behind the net. Woodbury looking to take control behind as Hashka drops it onto the near side. Flipped out into the neutral zone where play continues. Backhanded back into the neutral zone by Paige Fashing for Woodbury as this will be iced the other way. 7:54 to go on the second period. 2-0 Stillwater. Face-off will be to the left of Polanski. As Liney Nets was in the face-off circle, still being battled for us down on the ice is Bella Mishikoff still whacking away at it. As Reardon works it in front, it's still loose in front of the goaltender. Polanski jammed away at and finally blown dead. You know, some players have a little bit of extra curricular after the play. It's Hunter Reardon who had the initial play, and then I think it was Lang who was jamming away at it, as still sitting on the ice is the goaltender Polanski. And they're going to take Haley Olson for a penalty.
We saw that puck squirt across, I mean, through a lot of sticks and a lot of skates, and I don't think Polanski was ready for it. And good options there for Stillwater to just try to bang it home again, because, you know, Polanski was down, you know, on her bottom, and so she couldn't move very much. So prime opportunity there for Stillwater.
Well, the coincidental minors, Olsen with the player who got taken for the Ponies. I don't know who got taken for the Royals. We'll have to catch the PA announcement about that. The face-off will come just outside the Woodbury blue line. Ponies just making sure everybody's lining up in the right places when we take this face-off, and now the Ponies kind of huddling up again. I don't know if there's another... We're having a conversation at the bench with Coach Cashman. I guess that was what was going on. We'll have a face-off again just outside the Woodbury blue line if the Ponies able to send it in deep, as it'll ring the Dashers behind the net. Work up into the far side corner as it'll be worked back by Nelson to the blue line. Leg day had a shot blocked, as getting in the way of that was Liv Mishikoff. Royals will work the puck from their own net back around toward Mishikoff on the near side. Mishikoff with the puck, waiting, and now she lets it go as it'll tip off the stick of Haley Gronke. Floated back toward the red line where the Ponies able to gain control of it. And then a collision at the blue line that prevented Nelson from coming into the offensive zone. Nelson back with it. Nelson able to come into the offensive zone. Excuse me, that's Finn, I apologize, as it'll come back out into the neutral zone the other way. Puck sent in deep to the Stillwater zone. Works into the corner. Now back out into the neutral zone as the Royals look to send it back into the corner. Ponies controlling behind their net. 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. Winner of this game will take on the winner of White Bear Lake and Gentry Academy. The slipping and falling in the neutral zone was Kaylee Nelson for the Royals. The Ponies will look to come back the other way into the offensive zone, trying to go across for St. Martin, but a nice defensive play by Brooke Nets to break up that cross-ice pass.
Yeah, Woodbury's let go a couple of those where Stillwater's looking for those cross-ice passes, 2v1s, but Woodbury's done a good job not letting that pass connect.
There's a turnover, trying to drive her way in and then getting spun around and taken down. It's Desjardins who was driving into through the slot, and a penalty will go on the Royals.
Yeah, Desjardins had a quietly really solid game tonight for Stillwater, drawing that penalty, and she also has had a couple nice shots and a nice couple passes cross ice that just haven't connected for anything, but solid game for Desjardins tonight.
Absolutely. So the Ponies will go on their third power play. They're 0 for 2. Ponies leading 2-0 here in the later stages of the second period. It's Hannah Gronke who takes the penalty for the Royals. We start to wind our way toward the third period. This is an important power play, I think, for both teams. We've hinted at the beginning of the period that I think Stillwater kind of looking for that backbreaker goal. While the Royals, you can't afford to, especially as this game has, moved along, they're still, and I think we're having the medical trainer crossing the ice over to the penalty box. Hopefully everything okay over there. From our angle, we can't really see what's going on.
But like you said, Patrick, this power play is huge, I think, if you're Stillwater. They've played a solid period so far, especially defensively, doing all the, the dirty work to keep the puck out of their own net. But if they could net one here, that would really send a jolt of energy into a Cashman squad.
Puck battled for in the corner, is trying to work it free. It was Hoff. Puck will work back to the blue line. Pony still able to control in the offensive zone. It'll come back behind the net for Bronshausen. Bronshausen was looking back for Hoff. It'll work back now into the corner. Bronshausen Gets tied up there, but able to work the puck back to the blue line as Lake Day goes across with it. As March sends one just wide of the net, will be collected off the back of the net by Bronshausen. Bronshausen back to March. March working her way up the boards. March works inside. March with a shot just wide in front of the net. As Hoff able to tap it back to the blue line. Now Hoff back with it. Hoff will cycle it into the corner where it'll be controlled by Bronshausen. Bronshausen works through the circle. Bronshausen, a shot that goes, might have caught the crossbar or might have been knocked out of the air by the goaltender Polanski. It happened with some bodies going right in front of us, so we couldn't quite see how that puck ended up getting knocked away, as the puck will then be sent deep into the Stillwater zone.
Well, no shortage of chances here on this power play for Stillwater, taking all those big shots from some really high percentage areas.
Play continues in the neutral zone as the Royals will see it go over onto the far side. 30 seconds to go on the power play for the Ponies. Puck poked out just across the blue line is having to collect its Kruger, and the Ponies have to reset in the neutral zone. They come back in with Lang. Lang trying to go cross ice. It's gathered in over on the far side by Nelson. Nelson got it down low with Kruger out front. Just couldn't quite connect. Another drive blocked, as it'll be thrown the other way now by Brooke Netz, and she blocked that shot from Lang.
What a great opportunity for Stillwater. That pass was coming in hot, though. That would have been a tough one for Kruger, but all she needed to do was potentially connect on it just a little bit, and that was potentially going on net. So good look.
Sorry, Pete. Woodbury back at full strength as a shot from St. Martin blocked up and out of play with 3:40 to go in the second period. So Woodbury gets the penalty kill. Face-off coming deep in the Woodbury zone, though. The Royals back at full strength. Face-off still loose in the circle as it's forced to head back toward the blue line, but the Ponies able to hold, throw it toward the net. It'll be played up in the quarter by Kepke, as then Kepke will have to reverse and drop it back for Gronke. Gronke with a long pass. That'll go out into the neutral zone, where it'll be taken by Ligday and sent right back into the Woodbury zone. Puck works up into the far side corner as Gronke gets tied up there for Woodbury. Ponies able to work it free with Bronshausen, but she has her pocket picked from behind. Now it comes down into the near side corner as Gronke rolls it toward the blue line, able to just get it into the neutral zone. And here come the Royals the other way, as then that puck nicely stripped away by the Ponies. Able to work her way back into the offensive zone is Finn, and then Finn just had her stick lifted as she was trying to work in front. It was Bella Mishakov who made that nice play for Woodbury. St. Martin can't keep the puck on her stick. It comes back out into the neutral zone, so the Ponies will reset with it. And offside whistled.
Great move there by Finn. I mean, she's so shifty and has a lot of speed and skill. And what a great opportunity for her to cut through the middle like that.
A couple of really good chances for Stillwater in the latter few minutes of the second period on the power play. Kruger cutting in front. Just couldn't quite connect on the pass. If the Ponies control the face-off, they'll throw it back into the Woodbury zone. Now it comes back out to neutral as Woodbury will work it back up ice into the offensive zone as Liney Netz. Netz will play it onto the end boards, and the puck will cycle back off toward the far side. And the Ponies come with speed through neutral. Here's St. Martin, and St. Martin works her way in. St. Martin scores!
Oh my goodness,
An
Patrick.
incredible goal for Josie St. Martin with two defenders all over her and the net closing fast. And St. Martin with her second goal of the night, 22 on the season. Again, as I said earlier, showing why she's one of the best.
I mean, she came in with so much speed, like you said, but it's not even the speed, it's the ability to cut and dangle the puck. I mean, she put a defender on her rear end, and I mean, that's hard for anybody to defend. I mean, I think with just being back on your heels like that's hard. But what a great start and finish by St. Martin. She absolutely an electric move to put the Ponies up 3-0.
Woodbury will take their time out. So St. Martin, her second goal of the night. The second period that the Ponies have just had chance after chance, and finally St. Martin No, probably the most difficult chance of all of them, and she's the one who made the spectacular goal. So Woodbury taking its timeout here. 18-9 shots on goal in favor of the Ponies.
And you know, Patrick, just we've seen chance after chance for Stillwater where the players are, beating their defenders and just getting interrupted, and not converting those shots, not getting a clean shot. And you had to think that at some point when that happens again, something like this was going to happen eventually, especially when you can get unhindered like St. Martin was as she came down and just put the moves on. And like I said, that was a clean shot by her.
Absolutely. St. Martin has her second goal of the night. Spectacular fashion. Well, Stillwater gets that big goal. They now lead by 3. 2:10 to go in the second period. Face off, Woodbury able to work it up the near side boards. They'll send it deep into the Pony zone. It'll come behind the net up into the far side. There's a shot that'll be blocked in front of the net. It was Eiley Hashka who took the shot. Penalty coming with the play deep in the Stillwater zone. I think both goaltenders a little hesitant, not sure who it was on, but we'll see momentarily. It looks like it will go against Stillwater.
She's still down. I think she went head first in the boards. That's a real bad collision.
Indeed, and no, of course the secondary concern might be a 5-minute major penalty. Of course the primary concern is for the Woodbury player, hoping everything is okay as the officials are talking it over now. Well, it's St. Martin who took the penalty. It's just right now a minor penalty on the board.
Yeah, another kind of a bang-bang play that couldn't cleanly see down there, so it kind of happened so fast.
Along with Pete Winslow, I'm Patrick Lilia with you here from the St. Croix Valley Recreation Center. It's the Section 4AA quarterfinal. Stillwater leading Woodbury 3-0 here late in the second period. Josie St. Martin with 2 goals, including a spectacular one just a moment ago.
Looks like she sat up.
Certainly good news for everybody in the building.
Patrick, while we have a moment, on that last goal by St. Martin, I don't know if the camera caught it, but one of the Woodbury players went over to Pulaski and kind of just gave her a little pep talk and some reassurance as the Woodbury player's up now skating on her own power, and that's great.
Absolutely.
But to go back to my point, I mean, Pulaski's here listed. She's an 8th grader, and so very young still, and she's had a great season so far. And so, it's important for her psyche to not let that goal rattle her. And again, she's going one-on-one with maybe one of the best players in Minnesota right now. Mm-hmm. And I just love to see that, obviously they're down and they're in a tight spot here in a very important game, but you still go over to your goaltender and, dap them up and say, hey, that's fine, just forget it, we'll get it. We'll help you out. And you just love to see that regardless of what team, you're rooting for.
Yep. Certainly with the performance I think we've seen from Pulaski tonight, I think the future of Woodbury goaltending is in good hands. Faceoff will come to the left of Timmons. .152 to go in the second period, so St. Martin will sit for the minor penalty as the Ponies able to get an early clear off the face-off. It'll come down in deep. As getting to it first is Nelson, and she has it taken away from behind as Mishikoff will quickly race up the left wing. Mishikoff speeding in. Mishikoff with a shot knocked down in front. Traffic sending the puck down toward the near side. Loose puck coming into the slot where it's corralled again by Hannah Gronke. Gronke working her way in. Puck is loose and then works back into the slot as Mishikoff winds up for a shot. That's blocked in front of the net. Still jammed away at him, and Timmons finally able to get on top.
Big shot there from the slot for Woodbury.
And
looks like she's going to the
I was about to say, too, the Royals take a penalty, and that was certainly not something that they wanted. And you could see Liv Mishikoff kind of put her hands on her helmet about a little bit of frustration at that penalty. It will be 4-on-4 for a minute 23. I thought we'd update you on the other game on this side of the bracket. Gentry Academy beat White Bear Lake by a final score of 8-3. So Gentry is through, and they will await the winner of this game. That will be the other of the semifinals on Tuesday night. We already know Hill Murray and Eastridge are through. They won last night. And then now Gentry Academy defeating White Bear Lake earlier. So they're through, and they will await Stillwater or Woodbury. And right now it's Stillwater leading 3-0 with a minute 14 to go in the second period.
Like you said, Patrick, lots of talent on all sides of the bracket.
Absolutely. As Stillwater wins the face-off, they'll cycle it into the corner where it's played behind the net. It's getting tied up as Kruger. Kruger centers out front and unable to get a lot with Bronshouse, and she was tied up in front by Hannah Gronke. A good play by Gronke to just kind of screen Bronshausen enough to not get a good shot.
Patrick, you got to think here, 4-on-4 hockey, a lot of open ice that might be in the favor of Stillwater with how much speed they use.
Absolutely. So we'll be 4-on-4 for another minute. 53 seconds to go in the period as the puck then thrown back in deep to the Woodbury zone. It'll be played behind by Liv Mishikoff. Mishikoff trying to work it ahead. It'll be carried by Gronke into the neutral zone. Gronke getting tied up as the puck will work its way back toward the near side. 45 seconds to go in the 4-on-4 as it's thrown back in deep to the Woodbury zone. And Polanski will just have to gather it up in front of the on-charging Avery Bronshausen. Face-off will be to the left of Polanski. But just slid under Nelson's stick, or she might have had a chance at it as the puck will work its way back onto the near side. As trying to clear his Brook Nets into the neutral zone as it comes back toward the far point in front of the Stillwater bench. As Liney Nets now plays it from deep in her own end. She'll look to pick up some speed on the left wing. Liney Nets met at the blue line, knocked off the puck as it'll come into the corner, and the Ponies able to control with 5 seconds to go in the period. And that'll bring us to the end of the second period. There'll be 8 seconds of 4-on-4 and then a very brief Stillwater power play to begin the third period. You're watching coverage of the 4AA semifinal on VAC TV. We'll step aside, come back with your second period highlights and analysis.
Pony Sports on VAC TV.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Pony Sports on VAC TV.
Hi, welcome to Papa John's. How can I help you today?
You know, people see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. Doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that.
Thank you for coming to our Stillwater Papa John's. Can't wait to see you again. Bye!
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man who gave him a lifetime of nourishment.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Hi, welcome to Papa John's. How can I help you today?
You know, people see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. Doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that.
Thank you for coming to our Stillwater Papa John's. Can't wait to see you again. Bye!
We welcome you back inside the St. Croix Valley Rec Center after 2 periods at Stillwater 3 and Woodbury nothing in this 4AA quarterfinal game. Josie St. Martin with the only goal of that second period, but it was a spectacular one. Along with Pete Winslow, I'm Patrick Lilia with you. It's been a thrill to be here tonight. Stillwater in control on the scoreboard, but Woodbury, we talked about several times, you don't just win 16 games in a regular season. They're down, but certainly I think they played hard tonight.
Yeah, you can't, if you're Coach Cashman's squad, you can't let up. I mean, they're a very good team that Woodbury is, and they've proven they've been really grinding it out here in this game. But on Stillwater's side, obviously they played a tremendous game, from a defensive and kind of middle of the ice standpoint. And it's always nice to get rewarded with a nice goal like that, especially when you've done, the hard work and the gritty stuff. That's not as fun as, the the show that Josie St. Martin put on with that goal.
Absolutely, and Stillwater felt like they were mostly in control in that second period, especially as it went along. They had a lot of really good chances, just a bad bounce here and there prevented maybe adding a couple of goals onto their total. How do you think they're going to come out here in the third period and just kind of make sure to just not cruise their way to the end? You don't want to. Cruise isn't the right word I'm thinking of. Just try to grind their way to the end.
Yeah, I mean, solid defense again. When you look at what they did in the first period, I said, okay, it was good, but there are some things that tightened up, and I certainly do think that they did tighten up. And I think that's what you want. I mean, you want a full game effort from your squad, and you want to make a statement coming out of these quarterfinals. And I think, the offense usually tends to take care of itself, but what you do, kind of in the trenches, whether it's, pressuring them, on their power play or just trying to pinch the sides so that they can't get clear entries. And that's the stuff that Stillwater's been doing, and it's been, paying off hugely.
Absolutely. Tonight's game presented by Papa John's of Stillwater. Win or lose, always a great deal with Papa John's of Stillwater. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back with your third period. You're watching VAC TV coverage of the 4AA quarterfinals. Stillwater and Woodbury. We'll be back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hi, welcome to Papa John's. How can I help you today?
People see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. Doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that.
Thank you for coming to our Stillwater Papa John's. Can't wait to see you again. Bye!
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy No, this warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Pony Sports. On VAC TV.
Hi, welcome to Papa John's. How can I help you today?
You know, people see the Papa John's Corporation and think we're this big company. This is my wife and I. This is our one and only store. We're here working 7 days a week. It doesn't really get much more mom and pop than that.
Thank you for coming to our Stillwater Papa John's. Can't wait to see you again. Bye!
We welcome you back inside the St. Croix Valley Rec Center along with Pete Winslow and Patrick Lilia. Third period about to get underway. We'll have a very short 4-on-4, and then the Ponies will have a very brief power play as the Pony power play begins now, all of about 37 seconds. As the puck controlled in the corner by Kruger, and then that's knocked down by Mishikoff. And Mishikoff will work the puck into the slot. Mishikoff winds up for a shot saved by Timmons. As the puck works off to the far side boards where it's controlled by Kruger. Kruger works it back around toward the near side. Thrown up ice by Finn as it deflects in front of the Woodbury bench. Stillwater collects as Finn back with it. Finn works it ahead to the red line. It'll be played ahead down into the Woodbury zone. Comes off the end boards and battled for now behind the net and then covered up by the goaltender Polanski, who has 17 saves on 20 shots in the game. Indeed, I think you and I are kind of thinking the same thing, that Stillwater's not good. They don't want to let up. They just want to make sure this thing gets to the finish line the way they want it to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you see this game 3-0 right now, you know, that's all fine and dandy, but really I would imagine when we're in quarterfinals and Coach Cashman's squad, you want to finish this game strong regardless of the score, and you want to feel good going into the next game. That's going to be huge.
Yep, and we know the opponent awaiting these teams will be Gentry Academy, as a long drive on net just steered aside by Polanski. It'll come back to the other side and be cleared through the corner as Gentry knocked off White Bear Lake earlier today by a final score of 8-3. So there's a shot from the slot, and that goes just wide as it'll come back onto the near side. Stillwater collecting back in the neutral zone as now Ligday back in her own zone with it. Ligday gets it toward the red line. It'll be knocked down on the near side. The puck will then be sent back into the Woodbury zone. It's rung around by Ligday off toward the far side. Puck works its way back down toward the near side. Ligday plays off glass. Kruger lets it go through. It'll be carried in on the left wing to the offensive zone by Hoff as Hoff sends one loudly off the boards. Puck will work down onto the near side, be sent back into the Stillwater zone where Lang now has it. Lang cuts, works her way into the middle of the ice, ahead for Bronshausen. Bronshausen into the offensive zone with it. Bronshausen gets stood up in the corner by Bella Mishakov. As the puck will then work its way through the left circle and back out into the neutral zone where Woodbury able to play it ahead. As March able to get to the puck first, she'll play it around her net back toward the near side where it'll be collected and carried up ice by Lang as it's played out into the neutral zone. Lang going cross ice and she'll work it up in front of the Woodbury bench as it's sent in deep to the Royal zone down to the near side. Puck working back toward the blue line where a couple of Royals nearly collided. As then the puck sent back in deep to the Woodbury zone once again. So Pete, I think so far we've seen in the third period, the Ponies have done a good job mostly keeping the puck deep in the Woodbury zone.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of that has to do with number 14, Josie Lang. I mean, she's so fun to watch, putting on a clinic with her smooth skating and smooth hands. I mean, she just cuts through all the players she wants to, and that's a real big asset for Coach Cashman.
There's Paige Fashing into the offensive zone, putting one on Timmins. It's controlled by Ligday on the near side. Ligday able to force her way through Natalie Meter on the near wing and send it in deep to the Woodbury zone once again. 13:25 to play in regulation. It's a 3-0 lead for Stillwater. The winner will take on Gentry Academy Tuesday night at Aldrich Arena. Gentry, the 2 seed, defeating White Bear Lake earlier. The other side of the bracket, number 1 seed Hill Murray will take on number 5 seed East Ridge. As a long drive on Timmins held onto and a face-off coming in the Stillwater zone. Kruger will take the face-off against Abby Lenzik. Face-off controlled by Woodbury as a one-time blast was whiffed on. It works into the far side corner. Kruger trying to get things tied up, played back for Lang. Lang will work her way over as Lang gets it ahead to the blue line as it's played through by Nelson for St. Martin. St. Martin trying to pick up some speed as she drives in, drops for Kruger, and that'll go behind the net. Puck will work up into the far side corner and be cycled back through by the Ponies behind the net. Kruger there, Kruger over for St. Martin. St. Martin still with the puck as she gets tied up by 2 Royals in the corner, and the Royals able to work the puck back out toward the red line where Lang now has it. Lang will tap it ahead for St. Martin on the right wing. She'll get it in deep to the Woodbury zone. It'll ring the net. But the play gets tied up again in the corner by Mishakov. Royals will try to work the puck along the end boards in their own zone. The Royals able to work it out as it's tipped ahead deep into the Stillwater zone. It was tipped by Mia Fisher, so no icing. Puck will be worked ahead back on the right wing for Desjardins. Desjardins gets it deep into the Woodbury zone as it comes up into the far side corner. Royals will try to work it back behind the net as nearly came free in front as it'll come back into the corner. Now back out in the neutral zone where the puck controlled and then sent back in deep to the Woodbury zone. Woodbury looking to catch the Ponies on a line change as it'll be played back by Desjardins toward the blue line but not out, then thrown toward Timmins, and we're going to get a penalty coming against Stillwater.
You know, Patrick, it was interesting watching Stillwater in the zone on the other side. Woodbury was having a player out kind of in mid-ice, just calling for the puck, hoping that the other 4 defenders can get it out to her, almost kind of giving the illusion of a power play for Stillwater, but really just hoping to kind of cherry pick and you know, smart play if you're Woodbury, trying to just make anything happen when you need goals, you need them fast.
Absolutely, as Woodbury controls the face-off in the neutral zone. That's Reese Herrig as Herrig and that gets knocked off the puck. As the Royals control, it's Bronshausen in the penalty box. Is driving in as Mishakov with a shot and a save. As sliding over to close off that post was Timmins as it's battled for now on the near side. Puck working free into the slot as taking a whack at it but unable to get anything on it was Gronke as it'll be played through all the way down for a clear. 1:29 in the power play. We're just past the 6-minute mark of period number 3. Stillwater 3, Woodbury nothing. The winner to take on Gentry Academy Tuesday night. Woodbury works in a drive and a glove save by Timmons. The shot initiated by Hannah Gronke from the near boards. Face-off coming in the Stillwater zone with 1:15 to go in the Royal power play. And the Stillwater penalty kill has been absolutely spectacular tonight. They've killed off a 5-on-3 as that one goes in on Timmons. She has to steer it aside with the stick. And a penalty coming again against Stillwater, so they'll be 5-on-3 yet again.
This is the kind of situation that's important for both sides. Obviously, if you're Woodbury, this is prime opportunity here to kind of break through, because you know that first goal is always huge for a team, can change their mindset. And if you're Stillwater, I mean, again, your back's against the wall. You want to hold on to this lead with 10.5 left, and now you're down 2 players. But like we've seen before, Patrick, Stillwater has done a great job of, you know, being down players and not really giving up very much.
Outlet to Meter. Meter at the red line will then work it back. It's under a minute to go now in the 5-on-3, 45 seconds to be exact. Woodbury able to hold the zone. As a shot through traffic goes off the glass. It'll come back for Liney Netz on the near side. Netz had a shot that was tipped off the stick of Lang as the Royals still control a shot through traffic. Timmons made the save, rebound loose as it comes up into the corner. Kruger able to play it around, and it will go into the neutral zone with 22 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. The second 5-on-3 that Stillwater has been faced with tonight. They killed off the first one, and they're 13 seconds away from getting one skater back. Into the offensive zone is Netz. Netz drops it back into the slot for a drive and a save by Timmons with the shot taken by Liv Mishikoff.
You know, that first opportunity there, that went right into Timmons' stomach, but it was kind of a big rebound that came out, but Woodbury didn't have anybody to pounce on it. That one, she wasn't going to make the same mistake twice because there were blue sweaters around the blue paint, but she ends up holding on to that one.
Lenzik in the face-off circle with Kruger, and it's able to be played into the neutral zone. So that'll do it for the 5-on-3. 5-on-4 now for 48 more seconds are the Ponies. As offside or some other sort of contact made in front of the Stillwater bench. So the face-off will come outside of the Stillwater blue line with 42 seconds to go in the power play. 9:19 to go in the game, 3-0 Stillwater with the lead. Nelson in the face-off circle. It's won by the Royals, and they will work it onto the near side. Into the offensive zone. Mishikoff shot, glove save. Timmons, and another face-off to come in the Woodbury offensive zone.
And although Woodbury's getting shots, you know, it's those kinds of low danger shots from the side that I think Timmons will just hold on to all day.
Absolutely, as Woodbury able to win the face-off. Again, a drive through traffic, knocked down in front, backhanded just wide of the net. As getting a whack at it was Herrig. Herrig we didn't see in the first 2 periods this line, as it'll work back to the blue line, able to be held by the Royals. Mishikoff will have to bank it into the corner as it'll come behind the net. Mishikoff able to hold on the clear attempt. Liv Mishikoff will play it back into the corner with 9 seconds to go on the power play. Mishikoff circles the net with it. Mishikoff still with it. Liv Mishikoff, a shot that goes wide as the power play comes to an end, and Stillwater has killed off the 5-on-3 for the second time tonight. Icing here will bring the face-off deep into the Stillwater zone with 8:32 to go in the game, and the shots on goal have really evened up. It was it's a wide disparity in favor of Stillwater, but now it's just 21-20 in favor of the Ponies.
Yeah, and I go back to the, you know, are the shots quality shots or is it just volume? And I think the latter half here, with the exception of a few for Woodbury, has been some of those shots that Stillwater's just letting them take from, side angles and blue line shots. I mean, those are the easy ones for Timmins just to swallow up.
Absolutely. Face-off coming just outside the Woodbury blue line, as it'll be pushed back deep into the Woodbury zone, into the corner. Now comes behind the net, where the Ponies will look to play it through. Back to the point. Ponies trying to hold the zone. As it's taken away, it'll be pushed up ice into the offensive zone by Meter. Meter forced to throw it wide of the net, as the Nets couldn't get on it behind the net, as the Ponies able to control. It's intercepted on the clearing attempt as the puck works its way back into the slot. Puck again able to be held by the Royals on the clear attempt. A nice pass behind by Nets, was trying to get it into the slot, as it was played ahead by Kruger, but again not out. 7:42 to go in the game, as March up in the corner with it. March with a stretch pass ahead, that's tipped past the blue line, controlled by Desjardins. She'll throw it in deep to the Woodbury zone, and Stillwater gets a much needed change.
You saw it there, Woodbury was able to break into the zone off of maybe a misstep by a Stillwater defender, but they have so much speed, and they got back on defense, and nothing really happened. And that's really a thing that's bailed out the defense for Stillwater, is, like I said, that time they're able to kind of reload and get back into position after giving up said position to Woodbury offense.
Puck comes back out to the red line as we hit the 10-minute mark of period number 3. 3-0 Stillwater, still leading it, as it's thrown wide of the net behind the goaltender Polanski up into the far side corner. Now comes out into the neutral zone, where the Royals able to work it ahead into the offensive zone is Meter. Meter steered wide of the net as it'll come behind, as two Stillwater players accidentally collided in front of the net. And the puck carried ahead now by Olsen, as Olsen gets knocked off the puck as she was met by Nets. Brooke Nets, we should say, at the red line. March trying to knock it down at the blue line as it's still in the neutral zone. Now the Royals able to control, as they'll be able to get it ahead, as this puck shoved down in with a little help from Bella Mishakov, as the Ponies play it around their net, where it's taken by Nets. Nets tried to center it. A nice job to poke it away by Ligday. Is trying to fly in on the back door was Brooke Nets. Battle continues now at the point. Ponies trying to clear, but then slipping and falling was Desjardins, but it is able to be played into the neutral zone by the Ponies and down deep into the Woodbury end, as it'll cycle back up into the far corner. There's another collision there. Royals will try to get this one through. It'll end up going on goal, so icing waved off. 5:36 to play in the game. A long pass the other way as Desjardins with it. Desjardins will throw it in from the blue line. It'll come behind the net and then be pushed down into the near side corner, where it's taken away, and as trying to drive her way in was Finn. And it is a goal for Stillwater. Out of an awkward play happened in front of the net, and the official signals goal.
Looks like they're talking about it, though.
And now as you said, the officials are getting together.
It's almost like, the initial first and second chance happened, and almost like everybody sort of stopped for a moment, as that one must have trickled through or got banged home at some point. But it does.
Well, they're moving towards center ice. We'll have to wait for the PA announcement about that. It's 4-0, and with 5:22 left, Stillwater looks like they will be moving on to Tuesday night. Kruger able to control the face-off as it'll come on to Nelson on the near side. Nelson gets it in deep to the Woodbury zone. We get the goal announcement. It's Josie St. Martin for the third time. It's the hat trick for St. Martin. Couldn't quite catch the assist.
That was Addie Finn getting the assist.
Well, St. Martin from Finn. St. Martin with her third goal of the game.
And Patrick, that's what I was talking about before the game. St. Martin, such an integral part to this offense. And, held pointless.
With a good save at the other end by Polanski. It's a great play by Stillwater and then a great save by Polanski at the. Please continue though.
But yeah, like I said, held pointless in those 3 tough Stillwater games that they had to end the season. But now, she's showing up when it really matters. And that's really great for Stillwater as they move forward, because that, again, you need her to come through if the Stillwater wants to have a deep run. And she's absolutely lit it up tonight.
Absolutely. The best players making the best plays in the biggest game, and certainly not the only reason Stillwater is ahead 4-0 right now, as that drive goes high and wide from Josie Lang. But one of the best players in the state of Minnesota with the hat trick, looking to help her team advance to the semifinals. .406 to go in the game. Stillwater leading at 4-0. 3 for St. Martin, 1 for Bronshausen. Bronshausen scored the first one, so you could even put the natural hat trick label on St. Martin's effort tonight. The Royals able to get it in deep to the Stillwater zone. It'll be slowed down by Timmons, and then it'll be taken by Lang on the side of the net, nearly turned it over. Shot blocked as the puck will come down toward the near side. Woodbury able to hold the shot in on Timmons. It's loose, and Timmons able to get on top of the loose puck with 3:37 to go. Faceoff will come to the left of Timmons. The shot from the slot was blocked. It was Meter who came into the loose puck, and then it was played around the net by the Ponies, trying to get it into the slot again as Nets trying to put it underneath. It'll come behind the Stillwater net. That's Lig Day trying to bank it ahead. Meter able to hold the zone. Now controlled by Finn. She's able to get it ahead now as it'll come to the red line and then be sent right back into the Stillwater end. St. Martin will come to collect it as we approach 3 minutes to play in the game. Stillwater looking like they will move on to take on Gentry Academy Tuesday night as it'll be played in by Nelson. Nelson with a chance and just pushed it wide. Puck working its way back toward the blue line. Was speeding in the other way as a shot blocked from the Royals. That was Nets who came in with the opportunity. It's now controlled by Kruger. Kruger leaves off for Finn. Finn on the right wing. Finn gains the offensive zone the other way. Finn driving toward the net. Just couldn't quite get a shot away as it'll come up into the corner. 2:26 left to go. Puck works back to the blue line as Finn with a drive from the slot. Rebound was given up briefly by Polanski as it'll come back out into the neutral zone. Loose puck able to be played ahead by Woodbury. They'll throw it in deep to the Stillwater zone as it'll be played by Ligday now behind her own net. Under 2 minutes left to go in the game. Ligday works it down toward the near side. It'll be tapped out toward the blue line, but not out. Now it is in the neutral zone. With Woodbury looking to throw it the other way. It'll be played into the offensive zone by Hunter Reardon. It's Reardon onto the inboards with it. Tried to center it as Polanski is down. 1:39 remaining now in the game.
I love seeing those strong power moves from Nelson and Finn as they cut to the net. Nelson, she's a big body, power skater, and she can do a lot of damage when she gets ahead of steam, and should be hard to defend. And then Finn, on the other hand, she's got a lot of speed, and the ability to cut in and out. And so great to see those players providing chances by themselves.
Puck comes into the low slot as Stillwater controls. A turnaround shot from Reardon was blocked. Still loose, and Polanski able to cover. 1:30 remaining in the game. Stillwater leading at 4-0.
Patrick, all things considered, Polanski's played a pretty great game tonight, if you ask me. there's only so much you can do with some of the situations she's been faced with. But I mean, throughout the game, she's had to stand on her head basically, and she's kept the puck out of the net, and she's kept it from getting real ugly, if you ask me.
Absolutely. I commented earlier, I think the future of Woodbury goaltending is in good hands. As we mentioned, she's only an 8th grader. So I think perhaps Woodbury might have a nice fixture in net for the next few years. Didn't quite work out well for them tonight. A great performance by Stillwater. That'll be working in on the near side into the corner, and Mishikoff behind the net with it. Mishikoff got cut off. We tick down toward 1 minute left to go in the game. Puck will work off toward the far side as it'll trickle its way into the Woodbury zone, and a penalty coming with exactly 1 minute left to go in the game.
I know she was trying to make a play, but potentially frustration there tonight is, as I said, she had some good moves getting into the Stillwater zone, and then just got cut off and lost the puck and had to take the body. Otherwise, Stillwater player was going to spring loose there.
The face-off will come deep in the Woodbury zone. Puck will be chipped to the end boards off the face-off as it'll get tied up on the end wall. Puck will work up into the far side corner as March trying to get it down low. That'll go wide of the net, and as it works up into the corner, 47 seconds left to go. There's Liv Mishikoff in the penalty box for Woodbury. Puck works off toward the far side boards. March will control now on the near side point as March will play it into the corner. Played around the net once again, back off toward the far side as we're under 30 seconds left to go in the game. Carried in on the right wing for Erica Kepke as Kepke throws it toward the goaltender Timmons, and she'll cover with 14.1 seconds left to go. A face-off coming in the Stillwater zone.
You know, to me, Patrick, it still seems surprising when you look at the shot, breakdown. It's 27-24 in favor of Stillwater, but it certainly doesn't seem like Woodbury's accumulated 24 shots. I feel like it's been a lot of those shots that we just saw there where they get into the zone and they just throw something on net just to see what happens. And again, I'm not faulting them for that because you got to see what sticks, but it's certainly interesting that it's as close as it is on the shot scoreboard.
We got a late timeout here. I think it was Stillwater who took the timeout, unless I know one team took the timeout earlier, so sort of academic at this point. I think it's a lot of these players going to be their last game, even for Stillwater, even though they're going to be moving on. This is going to be the last game on home ice for some of these players. And
well, I think it was important here. Stillwater did a goalie switch and put Maya Hanlon in, senior goaltender, just to get her a little bit of time, keep her fresh in case they ever need her in this tournament moving forward.
Absolutely. So face-off will come to the left of Maya Hanlon. She won 3 starts on the regular season. 10 seconds to go in the game as it comes out into the neutral zone. As the puck punched up into the Stillwater bench. Center ice face-off coming with 5 seconds left, and then we'll have some more activity. I think some more frustration being exerted here by the Royals. You just don't want it to get ugly at this point. That you're frustrated. Your season's going to be over, and I know some of the players, of course, this is the last time they're going to be out there, but I just don't want to start seeing things like that start happening.
Especially there's under 5 seconds left in the game.
Faceoff comes down into the corner, and that will do it. The Ponies are moving on as they defeat Woodbury by a final score of 4-0. The 24 save shutout for Lily Timmons, the hat trick for Josie St. Martin. It was a great game by the Ponies. They knew Woodbury was going to come at them because of course, both of these teams know each other well, and they were able to withstand it all, and they were the better team tonight.
And like I said, I mean, Coach Cashman got her team back into form, kind of back into the way that they want to play comfortably. And like I said, I mean, you saw them, they kind of set the tempo the whole game. They controlled the puck in all 3 levels. And I really think that, you know, once they get rolling like that, once they set the game up in their favor in that sense, then they're really hard to stop. It's just a matter of how they start. And like I said, they started off fast, and it paid off for them. They played great.
You have any thoughts coming up as the Ponies will move on? They'll take on Gentry Academy. Do you have any thoughts about that game? Not to put you on the spot or anything, but if you just have any thoughts about it before we sign off.
Well, just in general, I think when you're in a tournament like this, I mean, yeah, you're great. You won 4-0. You had a great shutout. But it's game to game now. You know, the game you just played doesn't really matter after you win. And, you know, like I said, Gentry's no pushover. And so the girls have to refocus. They got to get ready for this next one. And like I said, what you do in this, you know, in the previous wins don't really matter. It's how you keep performing and stay consistent. So, like I said, it'll be a great matchup, and you know, there's no lack of talent like we've already talked about. So, I'm just looking forward to seeing, you know, how it plays out.
Absolutely. Gentry, the 2 seed, they beat White Bear Lake earlier today, so the Ponies will take them on. We congratulate Woodbury on their season. That comes to an end tonight. Still a great season for the Royals. They won 16 games on the regular season, but the Ponies put together another great performance. They win. They're moving on. They'll take on Gentry Academy Tuesday evening at Aldrich Arena. That's the site of the 4AA semifinals. The other semifinal game will be Hill Murray playing on home ice against Eastridge. Eastridge knocked off somebody yesterday, and all of a sudden I'm blanking on the school they beat. That would be Roseville Matamidi. I apologize for that. So it'll be Eastridge and Hill Murray on one side, and then Stillwater taking on Gentry Academy on the other. It's going to be a tough game, but we're looking forward to it when the Ponies take on the Stars Tuesday night with a bid to the section championship game on the line. So the Ponies win, and they will play Tuesday night against Gentry Academy, which should be a great game. We're going to wrap it up from here. Thanks for tuning into VAC TV. For Pete, I'm Patrick, and our producer-engineer Anders Engstrom and the rest of our crew. We will catch you next time from an arena near you.
Pony Sports.